Hello, everyone. It's a honor again to have another class of this leadership theory. And thank you very much for the contribution you all made towards the servant leadership module, which we just completed. There are some few highlights I must state. I like the way that Angela, your contribution and the narrative that you shared was able to push the discussion further on how we could be better servant leaders. I thought that was pretty profound too. Thank you for corroborating the story, Andre, too, with your contributions. Thank you very much for all that you did in the other class. So the good news that I have is your work has now been graded and it's been turned in. So I provided some good feedback too and some examples. I also like the fact that most of you, your citation was very proper. So it was proper for a doctoral level. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the work that you have done so far. Now, before I even commence today's class, I'd like to reiterate that this institution, we exist to educate students in an academically challenging, learning-focused, and distinctively Christian environment for professional success and service to God and humanity and humankind, which most of you have started experiencing. And I thank you for all that you have done. Thank you for the persistence. And thank you very much for pursuing your dream. So, in transformational leadership, I'm going to be sharing the PowerPoint. But before the PowerPoint, I want to tell you some of the things that I'll be expecting from our work from this week. So, we are going to be seeing some of the things I will be expecting from us this week as a class. It's very important for us to follow it like we did. Transformational leadership, we're going to be analyzing because this is going to be the course objective. We're going to analyze and critique these leadership styles and effectiveness. So chapter 8 is transformational leadership from the book Leadership Theory and Practice. After reading chapter 8 on transformational leadership, we're going to discuss how transformational leadership differ from other leadership styles, such as transactional leadership. In doing that, we're going to provide examples of transformational leaders, the one you admire, and then you're going to explain why you consider them transformational. So that's going to be the discussion portal for this week. Then we also see that the assignment is also this. The description of the assignment is on the syllabus, which I posted. We're going to write a 2 to 3 page paper analyzing a real life example of transformational leadership. You choose a leader from the Christian faith, from history, business, politics, or any other field, and you assess how their leadership styles aligns with the characteristic of transformational leadership outlined in chapter 8. Now, this will include specific examples of how the leader inspired followers. Andrea, once again, in your last discussion, I like the way you were able to make a distinction between leaders versus leadership. As you all know, leaders refer to an individual and is often, but not always, an enactment of a particular role. But there are some people that are leaders, but they are not in a particular restricted role. So I like that distinction. But in this case, you are going to identify and include specific examples of how these leaders in transformational leadership inspired followers and how they also fostered innovation and achieved significant outcomes through their leadership approach. This is the rubric for it. So the criteria on how what I would be looking for is the analysis of the leadership style, the connection to transformational leadership theory, writing clarity and organization, and then the use of evidence. These are some of the rubric. I'll be looking forward to engagement and participation in your discussion. So that will be 30%. Critical thinking and analysis, contribution to peer learning, your clarity of responses. The second assignment that will follow will be the reflective journal entry. Most of us did that last week, and that was very good. You guys did a good job in regard to how you were able to reflect on your leadership style. But in this case, you're going to watch the video lecture on transformational leadership by Dr. Maxwell, who happened to be one authority in leadership. And then you're going to write a reflective journal entry discussing your key takeaway and insight from the lecture. You will reflect on the concept discussed in the lecture and how it aligns and challenges your understanding of transformational leadership as presented in the book. So the link is here. The things I'll be looking forward to are reflection and insight. I'll be looking at the connection to the textbook, your writing, and clarity. So in conclusion, this module of transformational leadership will provide you with the opportunity to explore key concepts in leadership theory, critically analyzing leadership styles, and then reflecting on their leadership practices. This will come as a result through engaging reading, stimulating discussion, hands-on assignments. Students will deepen their understanding of transformational leadership and its implication for effective leadership in various contexts. So that is what is going to provide you in this particular module. Think about leadership. Leadership is all about influence. Without influence, leadership doesn't hold. So, according to the book which somebody recommended in the discussion, Leading Like Jesus, anytime you are able to influence the thinking and behavior of an individual or organization, you are a leader. Because leadership is about influence. But in transformational leadership, redefining the paradigm, transformational leadership is a dynamic approach that inspires and empowers followers to achieve extraordinary results. Transformational leadership goes beyond just the traditional management, focusing on cultivating a shared vision and bringing the best in individuals. Transformational leadership has some essence. What are the things that makes up transformational leadership? Visionary. They have visions. A transformational leader has a clear vision. As we have seen over the years, transformational leaders, if I think about Moses as a leader from the Old Testament had a clear vision about what he wanted to do. God helping him, he was able to bring the Israelites from Egypt to a different place, even though Joshua took on and took them to the promised land. But he had a clear vision. Transformational leaders have a clear, compelling vision that they passionately communicate to inspire others. Having a vision is one thing. Being able to communicate the vision with clarity is yet another, but it goes combined for a transformational leader. And transformational leaders are empowering. They empower followers by recognizing and developing their potentials and gifts. This helps followers to foster a sense of ownership and autonomy. So they own the vision. Like John Maxwell will say that when followers follow a leader passionately, and when followers want to make a difference with the vision that have been passed to them, they own the vision. They take ownership of the vision. So it becomes empowering for followers when they own the vision from a transformational leader to end up being transformational themselves. Transformational leaders encourage creativity. Creativity and innovation help challenge the status quo, fostering a sense of innovation. Thinking about this, I thought about some years ago when all the engineers sat down and decided that it was impossible for metal objects to fly. The Dwight brothers could be considered the transformational leaders because they were the one who set the page for metal object to fly, and that is why we have the airplane today. They defied the odds. They were very convinced that it was possible for mental objects to fly. So they could be considered as transformational leaders in their time. They challenge the status quo. They inspire a culture of innovation. And ever since then, we have seen different innovations. Another thing I also want us to consider is what are some of the characteristics of transformational leaders? We will see that they are charismatic. They possess a magnetic ability to be able to draw people to the vision that they believe in. Transformational leaders, in addition to being magnetic with their vision and compelling, they are also able to provide guidance with their sense of emotional intelligence. They have a deep understanding of themselves and others. Leading Like Jesus, a book that was written by Ken, an other author, states that what made Jesus' leadership very powerful and transformational was the fact that he knows whose he is and who he is. So he knows who he belonged to. In knowing who he belonged to, he also knows who he was. So he has a very good sense of identity. And having a good sense of identity for a transformational leader help them uphold some principles. So transformational leader upholds strong ethical standards, serving as role model and inspiring trust. Trust is built over time for some people. For some people to trust you, they have to see some level of consistency. For you to have consistency as a transformational leader, it has to be based on principles that we have seen. So transformational leaders, charismatic, emotionally intelligent, and principles. Another thing again is empowering others. I thought that is profound because empowering others become the cornerstone of any transformation. In empowering others, transformational leaders, they delegate authorities. That is, they don't micromanage people because how far will you go trying to micromanage? So because they have been able to share the vision with so much clarity, transformational leaders know that these people have been empowered. So they are entrusted with increased responsibility in making decisions. It fostered autonomy. They create an environment where followers feel empowered. If you're in the presence of a transformational leader, you will feel empowered. They talk to you in such a way that you know that you'll be able to make a difference in the lives of others. I started thinking about Mahatma Gandhi, who is considered a transformational leader in India for non-violent protest. I remember when Mahatma Gandhi came to England, he gave a speech in House of Parliament. He spoke for like about 3 hours. He never had a notepad. He never read from a book. And after the speech, his secretary was asked, how come Mahatma Gandhi doesn't read from a book? He giving a speech for 3 hours. The assistant said, well, he lived what he says. So there is a connection between the life he lives, the principle he lives, and what he's articulating. So he said he doesn't need to have any notepad. Transformational leaders provide support. Transformational leaders, they offer guidance, coaching, and resources to help followers reach their full potential. Reaching their full potential is very, very important because there needs to be a shared vision, inspirational motivation, igniting passion and purpose. The way transformational leaders share their vision, their followers are able to key into it. So transformational leaders, they inspire their followers by articulating an appealing, meaningful vision that resonates with their aspirations. I thought about someone like Martin Luther King Jr., how he led the civil rights movement. He inspired hope, even with his speech that is often remembered, I have a dream. It was a shared vision, and he shared it with passion. He shared it with so much passion in such a way that it became contagious. The followers were enthusiastic and passionate. So, transformational leaders, because they have this strong belief, they ignite a sense of purpose in others. And then they always and often communicate hope, an optimistic, can-do attitude. And this fosters a sense of positivity. It creates a solution-oriented environment for its followers. How do transformational leaders foster innovation and creativity? Through challenging assumptions. They challenge the status quo, challenging existing assumptions. I want you to think for a moment about some transformational leaders that you have had that have challenged some assumptions. I have a dream. FDRO2. We have seen several transformational leaders. So, what has been before? Transformational leaders come and say, this is not all that we can have. We can go beyond this status quo. Transformational leaders encourage creativity. They create an environment that nurtures creative thinking, allowing new ideas to flourish while promoting learning, and they are always willing to embrace change. They are adaptable, embracing change, and inspiring others to do the same. It was said that the 21st century illiterates are not people who cannot learn, read, or write. They are people who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. The transformational leader, because the transformational leader is more aligned towards promoting learning and adaptation, he encourages the same within that space. What are some individualized considerations in nurturing talents and growth that transformational leaders are engaging? They are engaged in mentoring. They act as mentors, providing personalized guidance and support to help their followers reach the expected goals of achievement and pursuing whatever economic, social, or dreams that they have. Mentorship is very important for transformational leaders. They also engage in coaching. They offer constructive feedback and coaching to help followers identify and overcome their challenges. And transformational leaders are also engaged in development. They want to see continuous development in the lives of their followers. Now, what are the impact of transformational leaders on organization? I will just name 3 impacts here. We'll see that they have increased engagement. So their followers are engaged. And then improvements. Improvement to the system. So in this model, I will look forward to seeing your criticism, because the good part about transformational leadership, which is inspiring, creating learning environment, improve performance and enhancement, has been criticized over the years. One criticism is that transformational leaders lack contextual concept and reality because they are inspirational, and it seems to overlap with other leadership theory that we'll see. So I'll be looking forward to your discussion, and I'll also be looking forward to your paper on transformational leaders and the people that you consider to be transformational leaders. So thank you very much. I look forward to your discussion, and I will respond as soon as possible to most of your messages. And then if you have any question, feel very free to use my office hours. My office hours is there. I'm always available. And if you have any question, I'll be more than happy to respond and also provide you some feedback. So other than that, it's a great opportunity to look into this leadership theory. Have a great day.